In the world of wildlife, confrontation is constant. Predators attack, herbivores defend themselves, and each side tries to become stronger, faster, and more dangerous than the other. Even among hunters, there is competition for territory and prey. But in this ongoing arms race, some species have taken a different path instead of simply upgrading their strength and agility. They have developed unique weapons for self-defense, hunting, and survival. We will show you the strangest yet most effective animal species whose weaponry will surprise you. Mata Mata Turtle. Predators often have to chase their prey, but there are exceptions. The Mata Mata turtle is in no hurry. It ambushes its prey while pretending to be a piece of wood. Its rough, bumpy shell perfectly mimics the texture of tree bark, and its head and neck are fringed with warty growths and skin flaps, making it genuinely hard to distinguish from a branch, especially for its primary prey, fish, which can't tell the difference at all. But the turtle's unique weapon isn't its camouflage, it's the astonishing method it uses to hunt. When a fish comes close enough, the Mata Mata doesn't lunge or bite. Instead, it instantly opens its mouth and for a brief moment forms a real vortex. It sucks in the unsuspecting fish like a whirlpool, and once the prey touches its jaws, the reptile snaps them shut, swallowing its victim. Vacuum cleaner tactics. Now that's a unique predator weapon, isn't it? Bullet ant. Venom can serve two purposes for an animal: hunting and self-defense. Depending on the purpose, the composition and effect of the toxin vary. For hunting, the goal is to prevent the prey from escaping, so the primary function is organ damage, while pain is a secondary effect. In self-defense, it's the other way around. Even a single bullet ant can inflict wild suffering with just one bite, so much so that the pain is compared to being shot. This is a unique venom for self-defense. It's not dangerous to human health, and if there's no allergic reaction, it won't have any long-term effects. But one bite is enough to make anyone avoid this insect for life. The pain from a bite can last for about a day, and the sensations are truly extraordinary. In fact, the name of the insect speaks for itself. It was called a bullet not for its speed, but for the pain it causes. Interestingly, such a strong effect comes from a very small amount of venom. Toxin is highly effective, and the relatively powerful mandibles allow it to instantly pierce the victim's skin. All in all, this insect's unique weapon provides excellent protection, even against creatures gigantic in comparison to the ant. Spitting cobra. A venomous bite is the signature weapon of many snake species, but it has one limitation: distance. The reptile must sink its fangs into the opponent to inject the toxin. The spitting cobra has overcome this limitation by developing a highly specialized defense mechanism. It shoots venom at its target from a distance. The spitting cobra's venomous fangs, of the Protoroglyphus type, don't just have a regular canal like typical vipers, but a special L-shaped opening located on the front surface of the fang rather than at the tip. When the snake contracts the muscles surrounding the venom glands, the venom is expelled under high pressure through this tiny hole. The angle and shape of the opening allow the venom to shoot out in two thin, parallel streams, much like from miniature water pistols. No matter how potent the venom is, it must penetrate the victim's body to be effective. What use is a stream of toxin if it just lands on the enemy's fur? The spitting cobra has learned not to shoot randomly, but accurately aim the venom straight into the enemy's eyes. The toxin hits the mucous membrane of the eyes and acts like acid. Even a minimal amount causes intense burning pain, and a sufficient dose, if not rinsed out, can cause blindness. A terrifying weapon that the cobra uses with high efficiency. It moves its head to increase the area of impact, and even when it lands on the skin, the cobra's venom can cause irritation. This is a defensive weapon. Of course, it can't be used for hunting, and the cobra uses its spit only to repel large and fast predators. But what does the cobra fear? If you're curious, we can talk about it in another article. Just let us know in the comments if you're interested. For hunting, the cobra uses a typical snake tactic, setting up an ambush, biting, and injecting venom into the prey's body. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Tamarin. You have to work hard to survive in the Amazon jungle, especially if you're a relatively small primate, but members of the Tamarin family manage just fine with the help of their special weapon. They cling to trees like skilled acrobats, but agility is not their trump card. Tamarins live in large groups that settle in the upper layers of the tree canopy. Each group, and each individual tamarin, is like a mini alarm system. As soon as one primate notices the slightest threat, it signals the others, and the group gets a chance to escape. What makes this tactic unique in tamarins is that they possess an enormous variety of signals. These include chirping, squealing, whistling, and many other types of sounds. Of course, it can't be confirmed, but it seems as though tamarins disguise their signals as bird songs and other natural sounds. Thanks to this, a predator can't determine who is making the sound or track down the alarm-raising primate. What do you think? Is this trick possible? Or is the diversity of tamarin sounds explained by something else? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hoatzin, the smelly prehistoric bird. The hoatzin is a rather strange bird. It flies awkwardly and hides poorly among the leaves. So how does the hoatzin avoid predators? Its method is quite original. Its digestive system is very long, complex, and efficient. In fact, it resembles the gastrointestinal tract of ruminant mammals. Thanks to this, the hoatzin can extract the maximum nutrients from its plant-based diet and ferment food in its foregut. As a result, the hoatzin smells terrible, and that is its weapon. A skunk bird. Not bad, right? Predators are simply too disgusted to attack this feathered trickster. Even humans find the hoatzin's scent unpleasant, and cats, with their sensitive noses, are absolutely overwhelmed. This tactic causes no discomfort to the birds themselves, as hoatzins don't have a good sense of smell. Think this is a questionable defense mechanism? Then consider this. Hoatzin chicks have functional claws on their wings. With these, the young birds climb trees. Such claws are a sign of the species' incredible age, as all other birds on Earth lost functional wing claws millions of years ago. But it seems the hoatzin's awful odor is an effective enough weapon to allow the species to survive for so long without needing to change. Porcupine. At first glance, the porcupine seems slow and clumsy, but it possesses one of the most effective passive and active defense systems in nature. It uses pure mechanics and anatomical cunning. If a leopard or lion tries to attack, the porcupine immediately launches a counterattack. It charges the enemy, unexpectedly moving backward or sideways to strike with its quills. Its speed of movement even gave rise to the myth that porcupines shoot their quills at their enemies. They don't, but their weapon really does have unique features. The porcupine's quills aren't just incredibly sharp, flexible, and durable, they also have a special structure. The final third is barbed, while the base is smooth. Because of this, the quills detach easily and painlessly from the porcupine and get firmly lodged in the predator's wound. A nimble leopard might remove one or two, but if the porcupine manages to wound it with more of its ammunition, the constant pain will hinder the predator from hunting, leading to starvation. And in a hot climate, the wound will inevitably become infected and the predator risks blood poisoning. So it's best not to mess with porcupines. Mantis shrimp. This relatively small crustacean is one of the most dangerous fighters in the world's oceans. It's bright, amusing, and even seems cute, almost like a cartoon character, but it has one special feature: a true super strike. The joints of its upper limbs have a unique structure that stores and delivers massive force comparable to the strongest and most powerful springs. This allows an ordinary shrimp to deliver the fastest strikes in the world. A standard camera can't capture them. You have to use extreme slow motion just to see more than a flicker of this little monster's claw. With these strikes, the mantis shrimp instantly delivers fatal damage even to heavily armored opponents, smashing and breaking through their defenses. This strike has an incredible feature called cavitation. The shrimp punches so fast that it literally vaporizes the water around its claw. This creates something like an additional shockwave that deals further damage to the victim. As a result, the combined force of the physical strike and the cavitation makes the attack of this creature monstrously powerful, even considering its small size. Kangaroo rat. To a rattlesnake, rodents are a primary food source and a favorite meal. The snake not only significantly outweighs most of them, but is also armed with a terrifying hemotoxic venom that wreaks havoc on blood composition and the cardiovascular system. It would seem that a little mouse with thin legs stands no chance of escaping a lightning-fast strike from an experienced predator. Well, the mouse doesn't run immediately. It first shows what it's capable of. This is the kangaroo rat, named after Australia's famous jumpers, although it's not related to marsupials at all. When the rattlesnake strikes, within a fraction of a second the mouse launches into the air in a leap that seems to defy the laws of physics. The rodent not only dodges a fatal blow with style, but can even counterattack. A powerful kick with its legs resembles an impressive martial arts move. Although the snake is much larger and heavier, the impact is stunning and knocks its head back. This is no fluke. The rodent can hold its own for quite a while against a snake that, compared to it, is a true monster. The brave mouse has lightning-fast reflexes and, most importantly, a unique leg structure that allows it not only to jump far, but to do so extremely quickly. Catching such a high-flying jumper is too difficult, even for the most experienced venomous reptile. Oryx antelope. Many hoofed animals have horns, but only the oryx antelope has turned them into a unique self-defense weapon that even seasoned lions are wary of. Oryx horns are long, straight, and pointed rapiers that could reach over 3 feet or 1 meter in length. This shape gives them excellent penetrating ability. These horns can pierce an opponent right through. But the key is how this animal uses its weapon. Oryxes are always ready for a fight and stay alert. When a predator appears, they try to flee, but not in panic, rather preparing to turn and counterattack at any moment. The antelope abruptly lowers its head, aligning its horns to point directly at the predator at ground level. The unsuspecting hunter can't stop in time and runs right into the oryx's horns. If the antelope needs to be more proactive, it delivers a sharp, targeted thrust forward. A penetrating stab wound is extremely dangerous to internal organs. Often a fight with an oryx ends fatally for large predators. Archerfish. If you think everything outside the water is inaccessible to a fish, take a look at this little one. The fish patiently waits until an insect appears on land near the water's edge, and when that happens, it uses its unexpected weapon. It spits out a stream of water that hits the insect. The stunned prey doesn't expect this and falls right into the water where the fish is already waiting to snatch it up. This happens so fast, you'll want to watch it in slow motion. In just a tenth of a second, they strike their prey and move to the spot where the insect is likely to land. That kind of precision, speed, and reaction from an ordinary, rather small fish. Amazing, isn't it? And the complexity of using this weapon is another of its unique features. Light refracts differently in water than in air. That makes aiming at a target above the surface much harder. This fish isn't just an archer, it's a true sniper of the animal kingdom. Spanish ribbed newt. The Spanish ribbed newt is an amphibian that has developed an absolutely incredible defense mechanism. It uses its own skeleton as a weapon. This is one of the rare cases in which an animal intentionally punctures its own skin to strike back. The newt has special, sharp ribs that it can move. Under intense muscular tension, it pushes the tips of these ribs outward through special thin patches of skin along the sides of its body. The newt's skin contains venomous glands that produce a toxic secretion, mainly a neurotoxin. During this strike through the skin, the ribs get coated in this toxin. When a predator grabs the newt, like a snake or large fish, the newt pushes out its ribs. The sharp, venomous tips pierce the predator's mucous membranes or skin, delivering the toxin into the wound. This causes severe pain and poisoning. For a predator expecting soft and slippery prey, the sudden jab of toxic bones is a shock. The newt's venom is potent enough to cause serious problems for small predators and severe pain that can make even larger ones retreat. The key is that the newt easily tolerates this self-inflicted trauma. The ribs retract back inside, and its phenomenal regenerative ability heals the damaged skin within hours or days without causing infection. This newt is almost like Wolverine from the comics, except instead of claws, it has venomous ribs. Bombardier beetle. The bombardier beetle, or longhorn beetle, is a tiny insect that faces a vast number of predators, spiders, frogs, and birds. To fight them off, it has developed a defense system that surpasses any other chemical weapon in the insect world. It's based on two completely harmless chemicals that only become deadly when mixed. The beetle stores them separately in two compartments in the rear of its abdomen. When danger strikes, the beetle injects both components into a small, thick-walled reaction chamber. Inside are enzyme catalysts that trigger a powerful reaction. The mix releases oxygen, building pressure, and its temperature spikes to the boiling point of water. This mixture could blow the beetle apart from the inside, but instead, it fires the boiling chemicals from a natural nozzle at the rear of its abdomen. What's more, the beetle can aim its shots directly at predators. It rarely fires just once. It releases a whole series of rapid, loud bullets up to 70 times per second, creating a mini machine gun effect that not only burns, but also scares off predators. If a frog grabs the beetle, it can fire directly into its mouth or throat. The high temperature and caustic quinones cause intense pain, chemical burns, and immediately make the predator spit the beetle out. This unique mechanism has turned the insect into a mini reactor and a living machine gun. Bolus spider. Most spiders rely on large, passive webs, but the bolus spider has developed a sort of lasso to catch a very specific type of prey using a unique tactic. The spider produces a strong silk thread with a sticky glue ball at the end. This ball becomes its projectile. The spider holds the thread with its front pair of legs while its body hangs from a branch. This position allows it to swing and hurl its weapon quickly. It doesn't wait for prey to accidentally fly into its trap. Instead, it mimics the pheromones of its target, males of a certain moth species, luring them straight toward it. When the prey gets close enough, the spider flings the sticky ball toward the target. The glue ball sticks to the prey, and the spider pulls the thread to reel in its catch. While this high specialization is a risky tactic, since the spider's fake pheromones only attract one specific target, the efficiency of the lasso method is extremely high, making this one of the most successful hunting weapons in the insect world. Skunk. The skunk is a small, relatively slow mammal that would seem to be easy prey. However, its weapon is so powerful and unpleasant that even the largest and hungriest predators, including grizzlies, steer clear of it. Everyone knows about the skunk's stench, but few understand that its weapon isn't just a bad smell, it's a highly effective self-defense system. The skunk's foul-smelling secretion is an oily liquid that's extremely difficult to wash off and retains its awful odor for days or even weeks. The skunk has excellent muscular control over the glands that produce it. This allows it not just to release the liquid, but to aim and spray it in a fine stream or even an aerosol cloud. It can accurately hit a target from a distance of about 10 to 12 feet or 3 to 4 meters. It aims, just like the spitting cobra, for the predator's face. If it gets into the eyes, the secretion causes burning, temporary blindness, and severe irritation of the mucous membranes. The smell is so intense it can be sensed up to 2 to 3 kilometers away. This makes the predator an outcast among its kind and interferes with its ability to hunt. The predator knows it could defeat the skunk, but it would then become a hungry outcast, so it keeps away from the black and white creature. Pangolin. The pangolin is an amazing mammal that feeds on ants and termites. It looks alien but can't boast speed, venom, or strong claws. Its entire defense is its skin, covered in scales. But this armor is nearly impenetrable. The keratin scales are made of the same material as our nails, but many times stronger. When threatened, the pangolin doesn't run, it curls into a tight, scaly ball. This shape makes it hard to grab and completely shields the animal from all sides. In addition to passive armor, its sharp tail scales can be used as an active cutting weapon. Like the skunk, the pangolin also has anal glands that release a strong-smelling secretion. While it's not as toxic as the skunks, it's unpleasant and helps repel predators while they try to break through the armor. When a threat appears, the pangolin quickly curls into a ball, and even a lion struggles to pry it open. For a predator, it's easier to find a simpler meal than to deal with a little pangolin, endure its stink, and risk being cut by its scales. Platypus. The platypus is a remarkable animal representing the most ancient subclass of mammals known as monotremes. This creature is warm-blooded, feeds its young with milk, yet it lays eggs instead of giving birth to live young. In addition to this and its strange leathery bill and flat tail, which somewhat resembles a beaver's, it has another amazing trait, a unique weapon that may have allowed this species to survive for millions of years alongside much more advanced competitors. That weapon is venom. Yes, the platypus is one of the few venomous mammals on the planet. By the way, it's not the only strange venomous mammal. The venom serves a very specific purpose, self-defense. It's delivered through special sharp spurs on the platypus's hind legs. This isn't the most convenient weapon for attacking, but if anyone tries to strike from behind, they'll receive a powerful counter. For humans, the venom is not life-threatening, but it causes intense pain. For creatures with lower toxin resistance, keeping a distance from the platypus is a wise choice. Honey badger. Of course, no list of nature's toughest fighters would be complete without the honey badger. Its high pain tolerance, powerful claws, jaws, and tough skin are impressive, but still relatively common survival tools among animals. What sets the honey badger apart is its unique skin. The skin of a honey badger is loosely attached to its muscles, so when this black and white gangster of Africa is grabbed by a larger opponent trying to immobilize it, the honey badger can twist inside its own skin and strike back. It uses powerful limbs with long claws or extremely strong jaws to do so. Its teeth aren't especially large, but they're sharp and the bite is strong. Only the most experienced leopards and strongest lions know how to grab a honey badger without giving it a chance to use this superpower. Even they often rely on luck, so even among them, few are willing to take the risk. Why? Because aside from its slipperiness, the honey badger also has an extremely high pain threshold. Combined with its ferocious aggression and incredible endurance, this allows it to fight far longer and harder than most other predators in Africa. Even a wounded honey badger will try not to flee, but to fight back against any enemy daring to attack it. And since immobilizing it is nearly impossible, few predators are willing to engage such an opponent. Wombat. The wombat is a stocky, herbivorous marsupial from Australia that might seem like easy prey for a dingo or Tasmanian devil. But its defense is a unique anatomical fortress used in combination with close-quarters combat tactics. The wombat has incredibly thick skin and a subcutaneous layer of cartilage and fat on its back, and most importantly, a very strong and thick pelvis covered with hardened skin plates. This is its natural shield. Wombats also use their complex tunnel systems as a tactical advantage. When threatened by a predator, such as a dingo trying to enter its burrow, the wombat dashes into its tunnel, but instead of trying to flee underground, it blocks the entrance with its massive armored rear. Because it's wider than it looks, its rear acts like a plug. The predator may try to bite or pull the wombat out, but it can't, thanks to the thick skin and bones of the pelvis. There's simply no predator in Australia large or strong enough to extract a wombat from its shelter. This plush-looking animal fends off enemies 4 or 5 times its size, and there are no tigers on the continent. Usually the wombat survives an attack unharmed, even from aggressive predators like dingoes. But wombats aren't always passive. Sometimes passive defense isn't enough, and the wombat uses a final powerful trick. If it feels the predator's jaws on its rear, it suddenly kicks its hind legs and delivers a powerful upward thrust. This slams the predator's head and neck into the hard, rocky roof of the tunnel. Komodo dragon. The Komodo dragon is the largest lizard in the world, but what makes it unique isn't its size or brute strength, it's its complex hunting method. It can't chase hoofed prey for long or outrun it in a sprint. Instead, it moves slowly and lazily, lulling its potential victim into a false sense of security until the decisive moment when it lunges forward for a single bite. That's all it takes. The uniqueness of the bite lies in the synergy of three factors. First, the venom. The dragon is one of the few venomous lizards in the world. Its toxin isn't extremely potent, but it causes a sudden drop in blood pressure, leading to shock. Anticoagulants in the venom prevent the wound from clotting, causing the prey to bleed continuously. The second component is brute bite force and a unique jaw structure that functions like a saw blade. During a bite, the dragon jerks its head from side to side to maximize muscle damage. And the third component, leftovers from previous meals stuck between its teeth. This creates a perfect breeding ground for bacteria, a sort of biological weapon. Hoofed animals don't use antiseptics, so a bite from the reptile almost guarantees infection. After biting its prey, the dragon retreats to a safe distance and begins a long pursuit. It can last for hours, but eventually the dragon catches up to the weakened animal and finishes it off with its massive size. Even a large hoofed animal can no longer fight back. Mountain goat. Mountain goats haven't just adapted to life at extreme heights among sheer cliffs, they've learned to use this terrain for survival. These hoofed animals aren't the fastest or strongest, but their super weapon lies elsewhere. They can climb nearly smooth ledges, vertical cliffs, and rocky surfaces with such agility, speed, and calm that it looks more like CGI than reality. How did these herbivores learn to pull off such moves at such altitudes? Will soft fur protect them from injury if they fall? Of course not. The secret lies elsewhere. Mountain goats don't try to lower their center of gravity for stability like snow leopards do. On the contrary, they walk upright on straight legs, making their confident movement along cliffs even more astonishing. Yet they remain just as stable, agile, and quick. When bears climb up into the mountains, they're often shocked to find goats barely even acknowledging them. Massive predators approach, assuming the goats will panic and be trapped against the rocks, but at the last second, the goats calmly turn around and ascend a wall so steep the bear can't follow. But if you think mountain goats just escape and stay out of reach, you're wrong. That's why they've earned a place in this list of animals with unique weapons. From a safe distance, they watch predators and deliberately lure bears and wolves higher and higher until the terrain becomes inaccessible. Once trapped, even the largest bear is in real danger. He might be a powerful fighter, but gravity is not an opponent you can defeat with teeth. And for the goat, it's just a casual stroll, watching with interest as the panicked predator struggles to find a way back down. How do these herbivores learn to move like this? Do they defy the laws of physics? Not quite. They use them to their advantage. Mountain goat hooves have a uniquely pointed shape with grippy tips. When landing on straight legs, the animal's full weight presses down on a very small surface area. Additionally, the hoof has a soft, springy pad inside and a hard outer rim. Together, they create a sort of vacuum effect when the animal stands. Thanks to this structure, the pressure, and the shape of the hoof, the goat's stability increases drastically, allowing it to walk on ledges so narrow even Spider-Man would be envious. So, the mountain goat has turned its balance and mountain adaptation into a defensive weapon to defeat large predators without even touching them. Which animal superpowers impressed you the most, and would you like to see another episode on this topic? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to be the first to see new, exciting stories. A snake lunges for its prey, but the bombardier beetle doesn't back down. In a flash, a blinding lightning bolt shoots from its abdomen. It looks like an electric discharge, but it's a boiling chemical cocktail, a reaction that blasts out nearly boiling liquid and acrid fumes right into the enemy's face. Nature reminds us, size isn't everything if you've got chemical artillery.